This is Pillow Talk with Catrina Dennis. We're here talking about Bioshock Infinite. So Bioshock Infinite is coming out really soon, and we're all very excited about it over here at Gamer Hub. I primarily am excited just overall. I've always been a big fan of Bioshock, so seeing a title that's being that has the original creator back on board is really exciting for me. I mean, that means that the combat system is going to be completely different from what we got in 2, and it's already proving as such. You are now on an escort mission, but it's not your regular escort mission. You pick up this girl named Elizabeth that you go into the city of Columbia to save. And Elizabeth is a little bit different from your normal damsel in distress. Elizabeth is a little bit different from your normal damsel in distress. She has super crazy Doctor Who powers, and she's dressed like the TARDIS. So if that's any indicator, you might want to prepare yourself for that one. She's tied actually in between these 2 political parties, and something at the core of the game revolves around Elizabeth. And these 2 parties are basically just like 2 warring factions. And what they're doing is, one party is a purist party. They're the people who want to keep the city of Columbia the same as it always was. And then there's the rebel party, which wants to bring Columbia to the forefront of the common population. So you have these 2 big factions, and then in between all of that, you have these crazy monsters who are all coming after you because you have Elizabeth, and they want her. So let's go a little bit into Columbia, because I love Columbia, because I've always been a little obsessed with cities in the clouds. Like, I mean, Cloud City in Star Wars was my favorite spot. It was absolutely beautiful, and what they've done basically with Columbia is turn it into steampunk theme park Cloud City, and I am so okay with that. You actually have a rail system that you can jump on with a hook and slide right around the city, attack enemies while you're on it, and jump onto different platforms to take off and go on to your next mission. And the cool thing about this game is that it's actually not a linear game like Bioshock 2 was. You can actually go back, collect items, do missions that you missed possibly along the way, and you know, continue on your way and be able to bring up your arsenal of weaponry. Speaking of which, let's talk a little bit about the bosses. The main baddies of these games are pretty intense. Back in Bioshock 1, when I first heard of the big daddies and the little sisters, I was not only completely terrified and creeped out by them, but I was also kind of emotional over their backstories. And that was brought back to the forefront of Bioshock 2. And that was brought back to the forefront of Bioshock Infinite. There we go. That's right. So you've got the motorized patriots that are basically these giant killing machine robots that look like George Washington. They send off these crazy liberty dialogue speeches at you, and then they beat the crap out of you with bullets. They have these giant machine guns that they take you out with, and they have pretty much no conscience, no thought process. They're just there to destroy you, and they will not stop until they do. So what's really neat about them is that after you destroy them, you can actually pick up their weapons and use them against other enemies. And then there's the Siren, who can raise the dead. And that's pretty cool, because she can raise the dead with her voice, and you have to basically decide whether you want to attack her or attack the enemies that she's raised. And then there's the Boys of Silence, who are completely creepy. Oh my god. And you feel bad for them too, because they're actually little kids stuck in these giant helmets. You don't know what's going on inside of that helmet. You don't know how far gone they are, but in fact, I think they're creepier than Little Sisters, because they go around alerting your other enemies as to where you are, and just like when they do, they just scream at you, and it's terrifying. And then there's our big boss, our big daddy of Bioshock Infinite, and that's the Handyman. Now the Handyman is a little different from your big daddy, because the Handyman can jump, it can run, he can move, he can like leap over giant buildings to come get you, and he's fast. Not only that, but he's strong enough to pull up your other enemies and launch them at you, or launch you into the air, and then you fall and die. So basically, with all these major enemies, you have to come up with different tactical strategies to take them out, and that is what I think is really cool about Bioshock Infinite, because I love being able to be challenged to be able to bring up or think of unique ways to take out enemies based on who they are and what they do. So that's really sweet, and I'm really excited about that. But what I'm super excited about more than anything else is the actual city itself. The way it's constructed kind of reminds me of Bioshock 1, where you have this infinite space to explore. You have these rails that take you everywhere, as I said before, and you have this like strange kind of colonial feel to it. It's like walking into a really screwed up like colonial part of Disneyland. And instead of going through a hall of ghosts of old presidents or older people, you're walking through this like war zone. Because not only are you taking out these enemies that are super creepy and finding out more about Elizabeth, but you're also in the middle of a giant political war. So everything is pretty much batshit insane, and it's all going on around you, and you have to be able to make your decisions whether you want to be involved in like a man beating his wife on the street, or like two guys going at it from different political parties. You have to be able to make the decision to either go into that or stay away from it for the safety of you and Elizabeth. And your decisions influence whether you get an end of the game where you really can't go anywhere else, or whether you continue on. So overall, I'm super, super excited about Bioshock Infinite. I can't wait for this game. I've always been impressed by the Bioshock series, and after 2 was a little underwhelming, so after that, I'm really, really, really hyped up for this, and I can't wait for it to come out. So make sure you stay tuned, and so with any luck, it'll be out March 26th if it doesn't get pushed back again. So stay tuned, and we'll keep you updated on Bioshock, we'll keep you updated on the characters, and we'll keep you updated on how to maybe even play the game. See you later. Oh wait, I should do a whole outro. So for Pillow Talk, this is Catrina Dennis. Subscribe. So for Pillow Talk, this is Catrina Dennis. Make sure you rate, comment, and subscribe for more updates and more sleepovers. Bye.